Well, now that you got your shopping done, hopefully, or at least started on it for the holiday guests, it's time to meal prep, and you don't want to spend the whole time in the kitchen. I know
exactly.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you never do anyway.
I sure don't.
Look,
you
yeah,
know
this
me
one,
so well.
Today's meatless recipe is a great meal prep because, look, you're going to be cooking and stuff. You want something to start at the week, and you can cook for several days. You can store this in the fridge. It can be cooked up in less than 15 minutes. Also versatile and can be made many different ways. You can add all kinds of stuff to this. You've heard of all kinds of veggie burgers.
Obviously, yeah, it's like
But have you ever
everywhere
heard
now.
of veggie burgers with lentils as the base?
No, I have
Lentils,
not.
right here in front of me, as you can see with the overhead cam. Basically, these are lentils that have been soaked overnight, so they're swollen a little bit. And this is also called the Cholewinski burger. Why? Because my cousin Keith Cholewinski is a master chef out in Washington. He gave me the recipe. Also because it just sounds cool.
It
Cholewinski
does.
burgers.
It does.
Right?
When you said it, I was like, wow, it's really, we're making some exotic food today.
And you'll fool the meat eaters. You know, they'll be like, oh, Cholewinski burger, that must be really hearty. You can also call them prehistoric burgers because, if you didn't know, lentils are the oldest pulse crop known to man and one of the earliest domesticated crops. The reason it's good meal prep is because there's a little bit of stuff to do that takes a little bit of time. Like starting out, here's the ingredients. Let me show you this first. 2 cups of dried lentils. You're going to soak those for 2 hours at least. Overnight is better. 3/4 cup onions, caramelize them. 3/4 cup mushrooms, caramelize them. 2 jalapenos, seeded and roasted to cut that spice. It'd be a little too spicy.
Okay.
3 cloves of fresh garlic. And then here's the second part of it. 1/3 cup of fresh ginger. That is the flavor that I think you're going to taste the most in this. 1 piece of celery, 1/2 cup of parsley chopped up, 1/4 cup of basil chopped, and 1/3 cup of coconut oil all thrown in. So here's the prep. Super simple. Like I said, start. Oh, you can, by the way, cut up those tomatoes and the onion, whatever you want on your burger. Start with soaking the ingredients.
I don't know how I feel about cutting onions.
I'm sorry, soaking the lentils. Soak the lentils overnight and reserve the liquid. You can see I did that last night. Pull that liquid as you drain them and keep it because you might need it a little bit to loosen the paste. Then you're going to want to caramelize the onions and mushrooms in a pan. That's super easy. Here's a picture of it. Throw some olive oil in there, caramelize them, pull those aside. Once you have that, now you take everything else and you combine it in the food processor. But real quick, something you do first: pulse the lentils just a little bit, and then pull some of that out because if you puree the lentils, it'll be too thin and runny. So you want to pulse it a little bit, take some of that chunkiness out, and hold it aside.
Okay.
Puree the rest, all the ingredients right there, as you can see it. Puree all that to a finer paste, and then add in that chunkiness, which gives the burger a little bit of
Texture.
There you go.
All right.
So once you have that, you kind of scoop them out, like I've done here, into little patties. You just basically a spoonful, a ball, and then put it on there, and then press it down into a patty, and you can kind of seal the edges there. All you're going to do is sear both sides of this. Just get a nice crust on it, and I don't know if it was long enough yet. There you go, perfect.
Oh, look at that.
So get a nice little crust on it.
It looks a little like falafel to me.
Bingo. That's the other thing I was saying. Jazz and I was eating, and we're like, it has a consistency where you could make little falafel balls.
Yeah.
You could fry it if you have a deep fryer. And then what you do, after you finish searing both sides, let me just show you here. You got to finish it in the oven.
Okay.
For 3 to 5 minutes because that will firm it up and make it like a burger.
It looks like a real patty.
And there you
Look
go.
at you, Curtis.
There you go. Little lentil burgers. And it firms up like a patty here. You can that's yours. You can touch it. See how it's kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
it's got some good texture?
It does.
There you go.
So I'm going to throw in a little bit of tomatoes.
Throw your tomatoes on there. Throw your onion. Appreciate my cuz, Master Chef Keith Cholewinski, for the recipe. Love you, brother.
Shout out to the chow.
That's right.
Appreciate it.
Whole
Thanks for lunch
Cholewinski
today.
family in my heart forever. Find it on our website a little later today, folks. She's going to eat that one right now.
Sure am.